he's off to the races. Welcome to the In the Zone Sports here, man. I know you're gonna dig this. Well, for the second to one, and now they got the man trapped in third and taken out. And second and two, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races. Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosting Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy Hump Day. It's Wednesday, January the 14th. This month is flying by, man. Before you know it, be February, and you know what that is? Black History Month, baby. Black History Month. That's what it's all about. February, that's the month. Black History Month. But anyways, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's trying to stay warm out there. If you live below the equator, if you're in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, you got a little cold weather lately, but not really cold weather like we get up here in the north. So I know you're sitting there all nice and warm, and saw some pictures of people on the beach on Sunday watching Jacksonville game. I was like, man, Jacksonville is like 12 hours away, and the weather just changes completely to nice weather where you can get on the beach in January. Man, ain't that nice? Ain't that nice? But living in that way, you got some things to deal with: hurricanes, tornadoes, things of that nature. So you pick your poison. I like the North because you kind of get 4 seasons every now and then. Lately we've been getting winter, summer, winter, summer. Maybe a fall, spring every now and then, but more or less winter, summer. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, hopefully, I can get myself down south where I want to retire at and live my life, live the rest of my life there peacefully if I can do it. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on by myself right now. I think I have somebody online with me. Um, all right, we got Curry on the line. What's going on, Curry? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm on, Cat.
All right. I thought we would probably get Mo here. He would be on here real early, but I guess maybe he might be licking his wounds again, or whatever the case may be. But let's get started. Hopefully, they will join in with us. If you're looking at us on live, Facebook or Twitter or whatever, I got this thing going on. Make sure you give us a call. Phone number is 512-543-4662. We'll be on the air from 7 to 9 tonight. Had some obligations because I'm coaching basketball, so I couldn't do it Monday and I couldn't do it Tuesday. We had 2 games. Man, we got the day off and we got tomorrow off, and then we go back Friday, and then we got a game on Saturday. So we're getting bombarded. But the ladies are looking good, though. They're looking real good. So let's get started. Real quick in baseball. Carol Tucker, I think he's going to the Mets. And I think it's a short-term contract, but it says 50 per whatever. They didn't say how many. They just said 50 per. I don't know what else they're saying. They're trying to keep it underneath their hat, what they want to give him, but he looked like he could be going to the Mets. And my question again, and Mo's not here, he's a Yankee fan. I want to find out is, will the Mets become the new Yankees in New York now with spending some money? Because, the Mets really don't like, the Mets spend some money, but they don't spend no money. You know what I'm saying? But they spend some money, but they don't spend no money like the Yankees were spending money to win. We got Lou online with us, and we got Dana online. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you what Dana, his picture is right now. He's in Florida, right? And the picture that shows of him is a bar on the beach with some boats. Now,
Wow.
Curry got mountaintops. Lou has look like it could be in London somewhere. The view on here, but it of all people, Dana comes in from Florida, and that's what he gets right there. That's something else. I don't know. I don't know how they
It's
pick.
all about you.
I don't know how they pick these pictures they use on dial pad, but it's okay. It's okay. All right. So we did talk about
Oh,
Kyle
good.
Tucker for a little bit. Let's go ahead and jump into this
Okay.
national championship game this week coming up. Man, I tell you what, I don't know about you guys,
The NCAA is full of crap.
but
NCAA is full of crap.
I think this is gonna be a good one, man. I really do. I hate to see
Nah, they trying to kill the whole field advantage.
I hate to see both of these teams lose because I think both of these teams definitely deserve to win this national championship. And I don't know if I ever been this biased um to one team or another before in anything else. I always pick one or the other. I never sit and say, well, um, you know what, maybe this team should win or maybe that team should win. But no, I'm going for both of them. I like both of them. I ain't got no college team right now, so I ain't got no allegiance to nobody. I just want to see a good game. So we got Dane in the
I'm
background
only doing
talking about some home field advantage. So Dana, talk to us. Tell us what's going on. What you mean by some home field advantage?
NCAA, you know about the U. We don't have what has been done doesn't have to be explained. Before you stuck in from the SECT, it was all about the U. They weren't talking about Alabama. I think the closest thing to it was what USC. They didn't want none. When they made videotapes of what not to do, they showed the U. And we was winning. 17 first round picks, unstoppable. When you come to Miami, you go into the Hall of Fame. Don't worry about it. But all I want to say is NCAA, stop raising them tickets so we can't get our fans in the stadium. Stop it, man. Stop it.
So what
They're
did
getting mushed. They're getting mushed.
so what's
They're
the
basketball. You can't shoot their jumpers in football.
so
This is the basketball school. Touch it up, man. That's all I
Dana,
had to say. I'm hyped.
Dana, what are the ticket prices going at right now?
He said it from the I was listening to Luke. He said it last week the tickets at the Fiesta Bowl was $49. He said now the nosebleed starting at $3,500.
Wow. Well,
Oh my.
but you know what? I mean, do just think about what you're going. Just think about the ramifications of the game and who they're playing. So yeah, you're gonna pay a good little penny for that. So is you trying to tell me that the U don't have money like that? Indiana alumni got that type of money. The U alumni don't got that type of money. Is that what you're trying to tell me, Dana? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Listen. No. I'm just saying, why you want to raise the price when you know just the common people come that thing? I mean, you have some alumni, people that go to the school, they can get a student ticket, but they don't want it to be what they want it to be. They don't want it to be a you takeover. They wanted to kind of be even up. No. When you come into the battle, you better come prepared as Miami Gardens. I'm a Dolphin fan, but it ain't that serious like it is with the Hurricanes.
Yo,
We ain't been that good since 80. We ain't been that good since 83.
so what you trying to tell us, man?
When Mr. Marino was there. We ain't been that good. Oh, we got to get back. We got to get John Harbaugh. Come to Miami. The weather is fine. You can teach our players how to win in the cold and Stephen A. Smith need to shut up. And I just wanted to say, Kel, I'm just ranting. I just want to say ESPN need He been there too long. Huh?
Who should they hire?
No, they just should just have all ex sports players. And I say go ahead and replace him with Jamel Hill.
Okay. Okay.
I'm like, dude, why y'all always come on every week talking about who needs to get fired? That's ridiculous. Who you say AFC need to get rid of?
Stephen A.
They need to get rid of Stephen A. Smith. Oh yeah, I agree with that. What I do?
I like Stephen A. Man.
Every weekend, every week during the week, he coming on who should be fired.
I like Stephen A. Man.
He need to be fired when you said, man.
I like Stephen A. Man. He's nice.
Yeah, you said you like Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, that's my dude. I like Steve. Now let me say this though. Let me say this before we go on, right? Sometimes you say some things I'll be scratching my head too. You know what I'm saying? It sometimes a little bit over boisterous and over loud. You know what I'm saying? But when you when you making the type of money he making, you go ahead and say whatever you want to say. That's the way I look at it.
Not coming on there for somebody to lose their job. What if you go to like the grocery store and the guy had a bad day and dropped his stuff on the ground?
Well, I mean, you know, things happen, but I mean, I like Stephen A. Man. I mean, I'm gonna say this. I like first not Get Up better though, because you have more of a personality between everybody.
Yeah, they wrote too on Get Up. Everybody want Mike Tomlin and Jim Harbaugh to get fired.
What, Dana?
And one thing before we let you go on, Mike Tomlin did not lose the locker room. All the players said that.
Well, I'm gonna say this, Dana. There were times that he did lose the locker room. Now he might not have lost this locker room this year, but there's been times that he has lost the locker room. We can go back and look at the situation with Antonio Brown, how that turned out. He in the locker room with a cell phone on while he talking. You know what I'm saying? So there were some times he did. There were some issues that should have been addressed with Tomlin, but it was time, man. It was time. It was time. And they just needed to move on.
Baltimore Ravens need to be ashamed of themselves.
Why?
They didn't even let John Harbaugh come in the building. They fired him over the phone.
Yeah.
So who does that, man?
Dana, listen, Dana.
That's ridiculous.
Listen, Dana. Listen, Dana. Listen, Dana. It's time for everybody.
Over the phone. I know
so. So we done talking about college football now. Everybody done because they did it all over and everything else. He got her ranting about he goes from Miami to Stephen A. That he ranting about everything.
Yeah, man, I'm mad I missed last week, man. I just was thinking about when I come on the show, I ran.
So okay,
go ahead and get it back to the program.
So Curry, who you got for the championship game?
Yeah.
Okay.
Roll pick.
I'm going with Indiana too. If I got flip a coin, I go with Indiana. Lou, who you got?
Indiana all the way. There you go.
We know
you a Jet fan, man.
We know who they going for, right?
I mean, I get in this class, I think about it a lot. Yeah. I'm just messing with you, Lou. You the homie, man.
Yeah, all right. All right. One of the questions I got, Dana, one of the questions on the live feed said the question is, who's gonna hire Mike Tomlin since the Steelers own his rights? What would the team give up for him? So Tomlin has 1 more year left. Dude, Tomlin has two more years left on his contract, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Tomlin may take some time off. Because if you think about it right now, the teams that need coaches, right? Can they afford to give up high draft picks?
One-to-one game adjustment in the NFL, meaning they can put a plan together.
Who's that talking?
Team that they're playing week in and week out with Bill Belichick. Oh, my bad.
Oh, so if we're looking at Tomlin right now, to be a head coach, if they trade him, they trade him to another team. Is he worth a first and second round pick or a third or fourth round pick? If you're one of the teams that need a coach right now, do you go out and get him, right? Because he left Pittsburgh because he don't want to rebuild. Let's keep it real, right? Let's keep it real. You know what I'm saying? And even though they made it look, well, Pittsburgh, we don't fire nobody. He got fired. You know what I'm saying? He just had 2 more years left on his contract, so now they can trade him and say they never fired somebody. That's a formality. But Curry, let me ask you a question. If you're one of the 7 teams that
I don't think he fired him.
No, I'm just talking about.
They didn't fire him.
I'm just giving my opinion.
If they would have fired him, they would have had to pay him.
Right. I'm saying.
They see by him resigning and stepping down, they don't have to pay him.
Right.
Tomlin is no dummy. He ain't walking away from that money.
Right. I'm just saying this because I don't like Pittsburgh. You know what I'm saying? And I think it was a formality. It was just a formality. But I'm saying to you though, if you're one of the teams that need a coach right now, do you trade? What do you trade? What do you give Pittsburgh in return for Mike Tomlin? Do you give him draft picks? Do you give him players? What would you do?
They'll give them draft picks. That's what they're gonna want. And yes, you give them draft picks. If you're a team, if that's your guy that you want him your coach, you gotta get him. I'm grabbing Mike Tomlin because if you don't, guess what? Somebody else will.
Okay. So what draft picks would you giving up? You don't want to give up a draft pick right now. In this draft conference. So I would
give up a 2 this year and a 3 next year.
A 2 this year and a 3 next year. Okay. But now we're talking about teams that pretty much need everything. All the teams that need coaches other than Tennessee, right? And other than Tennessee and the Giants, they pretty much are set on the offensive side of the football, right? So like if Titans got a quarterback, right? They have a quarterback, but they probably need a little bit more. The Raiders don't have a quarterback. The Giants got a quarterback, a running back, and a wide receiver. But the question with the Giants is, when will they be back? When will they be capable of playing next season? So again, that's up in the air. The Falcons, to me, I think the Falcons have they have all the ingredients of them getting Tomlin, John Harbaugh if they want him, because they already know who the quarterback's going to be next year, which is going to be Kirk Cousins, okay, a younger version of Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion. They have an awesome running back. They have wide receivers. They got a tight end. They got the offense there. Defense needs some work on, right? A lot of injuries hurt them as well. We don't know when Penix is going to be back. So I think Houston will probably be, not Houston, but Atlanta probably will be the ideal place to give up draft picks to get Tomlin if that was the case. I don't see nowhere else. Cardinals, I don't see the Cardinals doing it. I don't see the Dolphins doing it either, because right now, you guys are Dolphin fans. You know that Tua's up in the air about depending on who goes there. Depends on who go there. It depends on what the future is with Tua. So I'm looking at the Giants, or I'm looking at the Falcons. If Tomlin were to go somewhere and they had some draft picks to give up, because they already have, they got their quarterback. Well, Atlanta doesn't have the quarterback of the future, but they have a quarterback they can count on, right? So again, where did do they draft another quarterback? Because this for Penix, this has been his third, I think, ACL tear, right? So now you're looking at, you're looking at rubber bands in your knee and bone on bone and things of that nature. So he's going to have chronic pain in that knee area at an early age. So I don't know if they're going to still look at Penix as the quarterback of the future for the Falcons. The Giants have a quarterback, they have a running back again, but again, like I said, running back and a wide receiver, when do they come back? So in all actuality, if I'm Tomlin, if I'm Atlanta, I give up a 2 and a 3. I give up a 2 this year and a 3 next year for him, right? Because you already have you got your running back established. You got one of the best running backs in the NFL, right? And then you just rally rounds them, get them ready to go. But now I got a question for you guys. Do you think, we talking about Harbaugh and we talking about Tomlin. But no, let's get back to Tomlin. All right. So that's my choice of where I think he could go. Curry, I'm coming back to you again. Where do you think Tomlin could go? And the team was willing to give up draft picks?
Well, he can go a number of different places. And I know you're not going you'll think I'm calling me a homer, but he could go to Miami because he's already made the comment that he would prefer to coach in a warm place. Now, wherever those warm places be, Los Angeles, not going there. He's not going to he's not going to
Vegas.
Either one of the Los Angeles.
Right.
And he's not going to Tampa Bay. He don't look like us Tampa Bay. So the only other place he got he can go is Miami.
But this is the question, though.
I wouldn't say that would be the only choice he would have.
But my question to you,
you got to keep in mind that a lot of times when a coach says something, it ain't always what he thinks. Sometimes it's what his wife might think. She might decide she want to go somewhere where it's warm. She might be tired of living in Pittsburgh.
And I can understand it. So, but my thing is over here. If he doesn't want to go anywhere that he has to rebuild, right? That was one of the things that was mentioned in one of the interviews or the conversation that he had with Art Rooney was, I don't want to rebuild. Pittsburgh has got to the point where now they have to rebuild. They've been band-aiding the dam for so long since Ben Roethlisberger has been gone, and they never got a quarterback. Kenny Pickett they thought was going to be the next Dan Marino, not right. So they brought in the other guy, Paul Rudolph, red-nosed reindeer, not. You know what I'm saying? So they have not really did a good job in drafting quarterbacks. Because of them failing on getting Dan Marino way back in the day. That's a long time ago. I would never thought, and I'm pretty sure that Pittsburgh thought about that when Kenny Pickett came up, his name came up for the draft pick. But I'm just saying, if he wants to go to Miami, what's the conversation going on with Tua? Is Tua going to be there? Or
no, he's not.
See, that's the thing. So he's going to have to. He will have to retool. I'm not going to say rebuild, but he would have to retool that team and his image to be a good football team. So then now who do you bring in as a quarterback? Now we've been hearing Kyler Murray's name all along going to Pittsburgh. So that's my only question about him going to Miami. Dana, what's your thoughts on where you think Tomlin should go?
I know I've heard him say warm weather place. But I see the rebuild. I heard the rebuild comment too. But if he don't want to rebuild, Atlanta's not that cold. I agree with you, Kev. I think he should go to Atlanta.
Okay. Lou, what's your
the only thing about that is when you say rebuild, some of these teams is not necessarily a hard rebuild. It's like a more of a reset than a rebuild, because nowadays, if you got some draft picks, you can get pretty healthy pretty quick, because you get some good players together. I'll tell you a team that done it, and that's the Los Angeles Rams. Look at what they've done through the draft. They got healthy really quick. They pushed all their chips in to the center of the table for that Super Bowl, and they got what they wanted. Then they said, well, we're gonna have to get rid of these players because we can't afford to play them now. So they depleted their team. They got rid of those players. But look where they're at right now. And that didn't take very long either, did it?
Well, I think Les Snead is a really good GM. And they rocked out with the second and third draft picks, and money wise, they're sitting really pretty right now. And it's funny that you mentioned the Rams because I just read an article that Pittsburgh Steelers want to talk to two assistant coaches from the Rams. So that Sean McVay tree is blooming really fast, man. With coaches out there, and so
well, all these teams want to talk to somebody's coach. If you look at the league, I think the Dolphins done talked about 25 coaches.
So I'm not surprised. I am surprised that Pittsburgh's looking at coaches from the Rams because of the type of offense the Rams run. And it looks good when you play indoors or you play in warm weather, and it doesn't look the same when you play in cold weather. Now I'm gonna say this though, with the Rams playing Philadelphia in the snow last year and having the opportunity to almost win the game because of Matt Stafford, if he gets a quarterback like that, then you're good, right? But again, I think a lot of it has to do with where you play as coaches and things like that. Like Shula, Chris Shula, who's Don Shula's is that his son or his grandson?
His grandson.
Okay. So his name's been brought up as a head coach for some of the teams, and he's been the defensive coordinator. And what people don't realize, the Rams had lost their last three defensive coordinators in the last 3 or 4 years. Like Raheem Morris was there. Then you had shucks, what's the other guy they had there? I can't think of his name right now. But I think it was three of them that they lost. They went to other teams that they're coaching, their assistant coaches or their OC or DC or something of that nature. So Lou, let me ask you, where can you see Tomlin going to, and a team giving some draft picks for him right now?
There are a number of choices. I mean, some are saying Atlanta, some are saying New Jersey. And I think like he was in my neck of the woods this afternoon, telling you about it. So that's a possibility. But I think he's somebody who took the prize out. I think he's going to go and try to go for something.
Say that again. Where's he going?
I think he'll go. I think he'll go to Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay. All right. And I think and Kerry, if you think about this though, Kerry, all the teams that need coaches right now, other than Baltimore and Pittsburgh, right? Who do you think is probably could make the playoffs next year, other than Pittsburgh and Baltimore? That's not don't have a coach right now, and you would want to think Atlanta, because Atlanta, they won 4 in a row at the end of the season. They knocked the Panthers out of the playoffs, so they probably have the best future going forward than everybody else that needs a coach. So, but I'm gonna tell you this though, I think he may take a year off before he comes back and coaches again, because I really do believe he was burnt out. And I think what really hurt him the most was when the crowd was saying fire Mike Tomlin. And again, that was bad. And you got Steelers fans. You got Steelers fans that want to fire Mike Tomlin, but when we talk about Mike Tomlin, he's the best coach we ever had. He's never had a losing season. Blah 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 blah. But you just said you want him fired. You can't have it both ways. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't. I really don't have a feel for Tomlin right now. I have a more of a feeling for John Harbaugh than I do with Mike Tomlin. And I think with Harbaugh, I think the two choices for him is the Giants. Well, a friend of mine sent me an inbox and said that he's really thinking about going to the Browns because he wants to coach. He wants to coach Shador. But prior to that, I think it was the Giants in Miami. I think he would be a great coach in Miami. I really do. I think he would bring
Harbaugh?
Yes, I think he would bring a toughness to that team that they never saw before. You know, even though he's even though he's up in age, and this is the thing that I'm saying to some people, just right here. This is even the same thing with Tomlin. They've been at a team for almost 20 years, right? So will they still have the same desire to coach like they did when they was where they was at? That's my whole thing. If I'm interviewing, I need to see that fire in them. They gotta have a plan to prove to me that this is the coach I want to have. So I'm kind of skeptical about Harbaugh and Tomlin for real, to be honest with you. But if you tell me, if somebody come to me and say, okay, for $1 million, tell me who's gonna go where. And I would say Tomlin will go to Atlanta, Harbaugh will go to the Giants. Those are two guarantees. And then I'll flip a coin for everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's just simple as that. But now Tennessee,
you don't have to look forward to see fire in Mike Tomlin, because Mike Tomlin in a post game interview when they lost the game, he's got fire. So I mean, I've never seen Tomlin lack. I've seen him down just like anybody else, but for the most part, that guy's always kind of pumped up. So I don't think you have to worry about him.
And I'm not saying that he wouldn't do that, but I'm saying in the interview you got to show, because the thing about this, you know, when you've been in a job for almost 20 years and you got to change jobs, you're like, man, I got to start all over. I got to establish this. I got to establish that. You know, it's like being married for 20 years and you get a divorce or something happens to your your spouse, and you like, man, I don't want to start over again. I just want to be single for a while before I even look to date somebody. You know, and so that's what I'm saying about it. Will you show that fire? Now, the thing about Harbaugh is they saying he wants to get paid, and he wants his coaches to get paid as well. You know, and I'm like, man, you really going out there on a limb, asking for the type of money you asking for, not for you, but for your assistant coaches as well, because you know he's probably going to grab some coaches from Baltimore. You know, he may grab some coaches from a couple other places, but again, his ceiling is high when it comes to how much he wants for coaching. You know, and then you have and you have Stefanski out there where they're saying Stefanski could be going to Baltimore, which is crazy to me. I'm like, wow, and so, but you still got Tennessee lurking out there, because I think Tennessee has a good team. They have a quarterback that I believe could be a franchise quarterback, in Ward. Um, but I wouldn't be surprised.
You don't have nobody to throw to.
I wouldn't be surprised. Well, that's what you got draft picks for. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these teams don't have coaches um a month out, because if everybody do their due diligence and do what they do and don't hurry up and make the wrong decision, because I think even with Harbaugh, he's saying he wants the GM job as well. And we know how that turns out when you're the GM and the head coach. And there's coaches that have done it. Like you had Jimmy Johnson, who did it in Miami, right? And then he tried to do it in Dallas, but that didn't work because you had Jerry Jones there. But again, you can't. I truly believe a head coach should be the head coach. He should be the offensive coordinator or the defense coordinator. He needs to be a head coach. And I think sometimes that burns you out when you try to do both, because you can't be in two places at one time. You know what I'm saying? You can't be in the offenses. You can't be a defensive coordinator and be in an offensive meeting, because you know, it's different language than it is in defense. But if you're head coach, now you learn it. You learn all those things. because now you got a lot of stuff inside your head, you know. So I, the Harbaugh thing is if I had to put Dana's life on it, I would say the New York Giants.
Right.
Um, but
Hey, if I gotta put my life on it, I'm putting the Dolphins on it.
yeah, I don't think he could go wrong either way. Um, because he's in Miami, nice weather down in Miami. Giants, he's still up north. You know what I'm saying? It's cold. It's gonna be cold. Like it's gonna be a little bit cold. It's a little bit about 10, 12 degrees, a little colder in New York than it would be in Baltimore. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, he need to come tough with our team up.
true. I just think that he has that grit, man, that would turn the team around. But again, we're talking every team we're talking about, other than the Titans, the Giants, the Falcons, um, and the Ravens, they all got a quarterback. Everybody else still don't have a quarterback. Browns don't have a quarterback. Raiders don't have a quarterback. Cardinals don't have one, and Dolphins don't have a quarterback because they're saying Tua might end up leaving. They're gonna eat the money.
Dolphins getting Malik Willis
And send him somewhere else. Now, if you go out there and you get Malik Willis, or you go out there and get the kid from San Francisco, now you can gap. Now you got a bridge gapper. You know what I'm saying? Because I think. Do you? Let me ask you guys a question.
I think Malik Willis would be no bridge gap. I think he could be your.
Which one?
I think he could be your future of your team.
Which one would you pick between Malik Willis and Matt Jones, Curry? If you're being a Dolphin fan, which one would you pick if you could to send to Miami?
Malik Willis.
Okay.
Then Malik Willis showed that he held the team pretty much together while Jordan Love was out there, and I would build around him. Mac Jones, I think he's a good serviceable backup, and that's about as much you want to get out of him.
Okay, Dana, who would you want there in Miami?
I would go with Matt Jones.
Oh, now why would you go with Matt Jones?
I would go with Matt Jones because he's the better passer.
Okay.
We need an offense. I mean, we don't need. I mean, the running quarterback cool. But we need somebody to stand back there and put the ball. We got the weapons.
Okay.
We just need somebody to give them the ball.
Let me ask you guys a question. What do you think?
You need to do a threat.
Do you think that Tyreek Hill will be in Miami next year?
They said he is.
No. He'll be a post June. He'll be a post June cut.
Okay.
They'll cut him, but it'll be a post June, so that it won't hit him till 2027.
Vinny, Atlanta's salary cap right now, they're 1 million. They have 1 million cap space now. Remember that, Vinny, that they got a new TV deal, so their salary cap probably will go up a significant amount of money. But as far as Atlanta bringing in any top free agents, they're gonna have to move some money around and things like that. And also, we got to remember with Atlanta though, is they have Matt Ryan as an advisor or something. He's the reason why they got rid of Raheem Morris.
Raheem Morris.
And they can say what they want to say, but he has something to do with that. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't care what nobody say. When you win 4 games in a row at the end of the season, you knock a team out of the playoffs, and you beat a team that caused them to be a fifth, go from a 3rd seed to a 5th seed. That's playing some good football, regardless of how you won the game. That means something. Right. So me personally, Raheem Morris needs to find another job as well. You know what I'm saying? Because he got that team to where it needed to go. And at the end of the day, they fire him. I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah. You know why they fired him?
Matt
because
Ryan.
he lost that game to the Jets. Seriously, if he wins that game right there, he's in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. So their cap space. So looking at the cap space right now, this is 2025. Let me see what 20. Let's see if we can do 2026. Okay, 2026. Matthew. I mean, Vinny. So right now at 2026, going into this year right now, Atlanta has $30 million in cap space. So that means they can bring in maybe one or two free agents and spread that money out thick and thin, or however they want to spread it out. Which was a good thing about it. That might change also, Vinny, because Kirk Cousins restructured his contract to stay there to be the quarterback for next year. So again, you know, I don't know. That's gonna be a weird thing. That's gonna be a weird thing. The Baltimore Ravens, guys. Somebody was you about to say something, Curry?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Go ahead.
Realistically, I don't think that the Dolphins will get Mike Tomlin or John Harbaugh, either one of those guys. And I'm not really, I wouldn't be pushing for either one of them anyway. But I tell you who I honestly think that I got two names that I think that they're gonna get one of these two guys.
Okay.
I think they're either gonna get Kevin Stefanski or they're gonna get Robert Saleh. There's gonna be one of them two guys. For the Dolphins, yep. I'll go with Saleh.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's the one I put that in the chat room, I think, about Saleh going there. That's one, and I think
that's a good fit.
I think both of them will be. I think both of them
definitely a good fit.
I think they both be a good fit down there. Especially Robert Saleh, because he's all about defense.
Yeah, and look at look at the Jets defense. They had a solid defense. It was when he was there, and the only reasons Robert Saleh is not there now, say what you want to say.
It's Aaron Rodgers.
That man fired.
It was Aaron Rodgers. We all know that's why he wasn't there, because of Aaron Rodgers. Everybody know that. Everybody know that.
Well, look at Aaron Rodgers got the coach in Green Bay fired. What's his name?
McCarthy.
Mike McCarthy. He got Robert Saleh fired, and if you say that the Steelers fired Mike Tomlin, he made Mike Tomlin step down.
Yeah.
Every coach he coached, every coach he got, they ain't there no more.
Exactly.
Trying to say, Curry, Aaron Rodgers, bad luck. Bad luck, man. Bad luck, bro.
Yeah. So
stay away from that Kool-Aid. I told y'all, leave that Kool-Aid alone. The Kool-Aid is perfect.
All right, guys. Where we at time? We at 7:45, so we working some good time. So Baltimore Ravens, who we thinking here? Who we thinking here with that? I know Kevin Stefanski's name's been brought up as well. Robert Saleh's name has been brought up there.
I would play for the Ravens.
The one assistant coach that's there, I think. No, wait a minute. He's what is the guy's name? I can't think of. He's coaching somewhere else, but he has ties with Davion something. I think he has ties with
Anthony. You talking about Anthony Weaver?
Yeah, Weaver. He has ties with them, and
for the Dolphins defense coordinator.
Okay. He has ties with Baltimore, and I think he came in and did an interview with him. Which weird is though is they're keeping it hush hush. But you heard about the interview with Harbaugh and the Falcons, right? They was sitting down having drinks or whatever, and turned into an interview. He's like, I thought we just having drinks. What we doing here? What we doing here? It's like you go out, like you going out to drink with a friend and it turns into a date. No, we're not dating. We just having drinks together. No, we're not. No, that's not what we're doing here. That's not what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? So, Baltimore is if they get the dude that Dana said, then he's a tree off of that team. So that they may get somebody that's familiar with their team. and they're saying that they're going to give Lamar Jackson a contract extension so that'll be done. Where they ain't got to worry about that. The Steelers is the one that's really puzzling me because we know the Steelers have been since Ben Roethlisberger. And if you really think about it, Ben Roethlisberger is the only quarterback that got to that team and turned that team around as far as a passing team. But Curry, before that, they had quarterbacks they had the Bus, they had Franco, they had Rocky Blount. All of they was more of a running team than a passing team, right? So if you're moving up in the era and you're looking at coaches for the Rams, so if you're looking at offensive coaches from the Rams, you're looking to improve your offense. So if you do that, you can pretty much forget about getting a big back there, and not getting big linemen. You get linemen that's versatile that can move, that can swivel, move them hips and move them hips and thighs and get what they need to get. So you're gonna change your whole concept of how you play football in Pittsburgh. But if you think about it, as cold as it get there, they gotta have to be a running team. So again, you still gotta rely on the run when it get cold out there and the wind's blowing. You gotta have a quarterback there that can hand off or dump the ball off and make plays. So to me, Pittsburgh is probably the most curious team out there as far as who they get as a quarterback. And again, you're looking at everybody's out there, and maybe the coaches that are out there right now. I don't think none of those coaches will be coaches for Pittsburgh. It'll be somebody else. It might be, and you know whose name we haven't brought up at all is the defensive coordinator for the Minnesota Vikings, Flores, right? And his name Flores.
Yeah, Flores.
Yeah.
He will probably be the perfect coach for Pittsburgh. No nonsense. He was with the Patriots. No nonsense. Standard, like he can bring in the standard. It's a standard, like Tomlin. He can stay the standard is a standard, and he can rebuild on that. But again, you had the owner saying I don't like the word rebuild. So then, what the hell do you like? Retool, restock? But it's all the same thing. You got to do something. You have to do something. And if you don't do nothing, then you're gonna be sitting where you sit at again, wondering where do I get a quarterback from next year? So you may have to take it in the shorts to be mediocre for 1 year. You still got a good defense, so your defense is keeping you in the game. You just gotta find that quarterback. That's all they need to do. They talk about the Browns needing a quarterback, right? And since Ben Roethlisberger's been there, the Browns has probably had about 15 quarterbacks, right? But Pittsburgh then they had about 4 or 5 quarterbacks, and they still can't win a playoff game. So why do Pittsburgh Steelers fans talk about the Browns fans all the time? Curry, Mo, where you at? We're looking for you. We're talking about you. I hope your ears are burning. So and let's be real. Why is Zach Taylor still got a job in Cincinnati? Why does he got a job in Cincinnati? I'm just trying to figure that one out. So now, so guys, let's think about this for real since we're in the division. The Browns they're talking about McDonald from Miami. I'm not cool with that at all. I want Robert Saleh, if anybody, to be honest with you. Or we can make Jim Schwartz the head coach because he's been a head coach before, right? But again, I don't like coordinators being a head coach either because you need to focus on the whole team. But I'm okay with him if he comes to be the coach because he got that defense at a level, at a number one level, defensively. They just had to work on the offense. But Cincinnati, go ahead, go ahead, Dana. No, go ahead, Dana.
They want Mike McDaniels so he can work with Shador. Like they want like the young guy working with the young guy. Like McDaniel's not that old. He kind of like on Shador level,
Yeah, but see,
to the same music and stuff.
But see, the thing about it is when he got to Miami, he showed he put something together, and nobody could duplicate it. But 1 year after that, the year that y'all lost that one game and didn't get the home field advantage, it ain't been the same since then. So he had that lightning in the bottle that 1 year, and it didn't happen. And I don't know if he could put the lightning back in the bottle with Baltimore, I mean with Cleveland, and make it happen with Shador. To be honest with you, I don't even know if
You know what happened to him?
What happened to him?
You know what happened to him?
What happened to him?
Injury.
That happens to everybody.
Yes.
But that happens to everybody, Dana. Every team.
Not doing that, like not with okay.
No. But
the Eagles, for example.
No, but what I was saying was the year that you guys was supposed to win that game against somebody and y'all blew it, and y'all could have had home
Buffalo. It was injury.
Yeah, y'all could have. Well, y'all went up to Buffalo, right? You know how y'all do in the cold weather. You don't do so well.
They could have won in Buffalo too.
You don't do too well in cold weather. But what I'm saying to you is that year that y'all could that year if y'all had home field advance, I think y'all go to Super Bowl that year with Tua. But then everybody catches up to what's going on down there, offensively, with Tua, and then he started getting the headaches and he started getting the concussions and he bumping his head, falling out the shower, running in the sand and eating sand or whatever the case may be. Everything turned around, something wrong with him. So I think that window was closed once everybody saw what Miami was doing, because that you guys are coming on like gangbusters. So all I'm saying with him is
they did.
If he could do the same thing, if he could do that with the Browns and be consistent about it, then it's fine. Because at the end of the day, Dana, it's all about a 53-man roster. You know what I'm saying? You got to have the best 53-man roster. But go ahead, Dana.
No, they did to Miami.
What they do to Miami?
They took the strength. They took the stress from Miami when they put the dome when they went over the top. They know Tua could make that throw. If you watch the game, they kept him in. They didn't never let him go over the top. And that's when Tyreek said something talking about Buffalo, like they scared to play like man to man or something. And they protected the dome. They put the dome on the top of him.
Hey, you got to do.
They wouldn't let him get over. And then that's when the running game went down, because Achane was hurt. They didn't have a decent running back after that.
But you know what?
All they worried about was the pass.
But you know what though? At the end of the day, you gotta do what you gotta do to win a game. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I'm as a Browns fan, I'm just numb right now. On who they get, and I know people get mad at me when I say that. Even Browns fans get mad at me, and I say to them, I disagree with them, Farhan Stefanski, because you gave him Baker Mayfield, who he didn't want it. He wanted Josh Allen. Then you turned around and you gave him Deshaun Watson, who he didn't want. He didn't want Deshaun Watson either. You know what I'm saying? You never gave him the quarterback that he asked for. And just think, let's think about this. If the Browns drafted Josh Allen, who I wanted as well, it's probably a different story for that team. You know what I'm saying? But then you go to get Deshaun Watson and you give all these draft picks, and now you are. I'm gonna tell you what their salary cap is. I
don't think Josh Allen would have been the same in Cleveland.
No, I think he would have been, because you know why? He had a running game with Chubb, and they had a good offensive line. Because you think about think about this.
There's not been a quarterback that's done well in Cleveland.
No. Listen
to
me.
That's Death Valley right there.
Let me say something to you. The rookie year for Baker Mayfield, he made the playoffs and beat Pittsburgh, right? So they thought that they had what they needed to have that following year. Baker Mayfield gets hurt like the 5th or 6th game, and now they're struggling. So if Josh Allen comes in there in that same year that Baker's there, and they had a good offensive line, they had a Pro Bowl wide receiver, they had a Pro Bowl tight end, they had 2 good running backs, he's going to do well because Baker did well, and they had a good offensive line then. You know what I'm saying? That was right before the guy that retired, the one tackle. He retired there. So I think Josh Allen would have did well there that year. Now going after that year, I it's you draft differently when you know you got a quarterback. You know, but right now the Browns are sitting in 2026 draft calorie right now. They are 26 in salary. They are negative $2 million. So What are they going to do? So this new TV contract got to help him out at some point in time. Then if you're not going to play Deshaun Watson, release him, right? Free just eat the money and say, yo, there's no need for you to be around. Because I guarantee you, if they let him stick around, he's gonna get back on that field again. He's definitely gonna get back on the field again. You know, because Shador is probably not gonna be able to play 17 games. You know what I'm saying? They need to do something to the offensive line. The offensive line is aging right now. You know, so they haven't had a starting offensive line hasn't been together but 2 times all year long. And you see how that hurts. You see how that hurts the Cleveland Browns. Look how it hurt the Chicago, not Chicago. See how it hurt the Los Angeles Chargers with my man not having a good offense, losing both of his tackles. You know, a lot of times what people don't understand is they'll say, well, he's a professional football player. He should be able to block like the tackle start. Starting tackles make the most money on the offensive line, right? So your backup is not going to be as good as you, because if he was good as you, he would be the left tackle and not. I mean, he'd be the he'd be the left tackle, the right tackle. He wouldn't be coming off the bench, right? So there's to me, I think that's the biggest gap in talent wise on the line is from the starting tackle to the tackle that comes off the bench. You know, so again, you look at the situation with the Chargers, and they didn't have offensive line all year long, and they got in the playoffs because they won the games early. But I'm just saying, I think with the Browns, with Stefanski, you get Deshaun Watson, you give up all these draft picks. So now who you going to draft? You can't you give up draft picks, right? You give a first and second round draft picks to get him. Now you can't build your team, because I don't think the GM that the Browns have is that smart. Even though he came from Baltimore, I don't think he's that smart, because if he's that smart, he would have drafted Shador Sanders before he drafted him. You know what I'm saying? How long did the kid need to be out there before you drafted him? And again, if you listen to being a Browns fan and you listen to the interviews that Stefanski say, they're like, well, is Gabriel going to be the starting quarterback? He will be the starting quarterback. He's starting quarterback next week. He's been that way since Baker Mayfield got there. Baker will be the starting quarterback next week. Deshaun Watson will be the starting quarterback. He never, those quarterbacks, he never wanted none of those. He wanted Josh Allen. And he didn't get Josh Allen. So that kind of set that it didn't set him back, but it let him know where he stood as a coach. And let's think about this. Stefanski became coach of the year with duct tape, bubble gum, and some glue. 2 years he became coach of the year, right? But he has a losing record. So that lets you know that he can't coach, right? He has some talent in coaching. So again, that's why I'm like, I was on the fence about him being fired. Now, this whole thing about Shador and McGuire, if all that's true and Stefanski held it against him, that he needed to go because you're holding the team back. You have to go at that point in time. So, let's see here. So let me ask you guys where we at time, or we at 8 o'clock. So let me ask you guys a question. I have these teams down. I'm already thinking 2026. I believe there's going to be at least 5 teams next year that have new coaches. And I'm gonna go around and I'm gonna tell you why I think I'm gonna tell you why I think they're gonna have new coaches. Okay. And y'all guys can agree or disagree with me, and then we can talk about it once. I think the Bengals will have a new coach next year. If they don't use that $66 million that they got on the defense side of football and trade Hendricks to get some more draft picks, they're still going to be who they are. The coach is going to get. The quarterback's going to be hurt all the time, and it is what it is. Anybody agree or disagree with me on that one?
I agree.
I agree.
Okay. Unfairly, Aaron Glenn will probably get fired next year, but they don't have the talent up there. Now, this is the thing with the Jets. What the Jets have to do, the Jets are 4th in salary cap money, space money. This is crazy, man. Oh my Lord. They're the Rams who's playing in a playoffs right now that could eventually go to Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl, and they have $81 million to use cap space. So that means they can keep players and bring players on. I just want to bring that up. But the Jets are fourth with 200. They have $89 million in cap space they can use. Now, if they're going to use the cap space correctly, get Aaron Glenn what he needs to get to make that a better team, which he needs to eventually, you know, get a quarterback maybe, get or well, depend. They need so much, right? So let's if we can flip it and they come and get a backup quarterback again because they know they can't get the quarterback they want right now because they wanted a Dante Moore, but Dante Moore said, "I'm staying in college. I need one more year to stay in college, so I'm not coming out." So where do they go from there? Do they go after the Ty Simpson from Alabama? I don't know, but in order for him to stay, in order for him to save his job in New York, he has to win at least, I'm gonna say 9 games. Anybody agree, disagree? Okay. The next
Yeah.
the next team, I'm gonna say the Commanders, right? Um, you fire your offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator this year, right? And because things are going haywire, but your quarterback hasn't played all year long, right? So I don't understand. I don't understand why do teams or fans want instant gratification for a team that probably was 2 or 3 years ahead of itself um, with the quarterback situation where he was playing, but you got a defensive coordinator as your head coach, and you can't stop a nose run, you know. And Curry brought this up a while ago, so I think he could be on the hot seat. Anybody agree? Disagree? Okay. Buffalo Bills. It starts right now. If they lose in the playoffs, he gets one more year to prove himself. But it's a possibility he could get fired. It's a possibility he could get fired this year because of the coaches that are out there right now, right? If they poo poo in the bed this weekend, he could lose his job, right? But
yeah, he win the Super Bowl.
But what I'm saying to you is this right here. You said Buffalo's winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. If he don't win the Super Bowl, right? I give
nothing in the playoffs gonna stop Josh Allen.
Well, to be honest with you, nobody in the AFC should stop him because you don't have Lamar, you don't have Mahomes, you don't have Burrows, you don't have Lamar. You know what I'm saying? You got fresh meat out there right now.
I don't think nothing in the AFC gonna stop him either.
In the NFC?
I don't think nothing in the NFC gonna stop him either.
Dana. He doesn't have any wide receivers right now.
They'll find a way.
Okay.
Every quarterback that he got to go through, that's the threat. The only quarterback he got to go through that's a threat in the NFC is hurt. It's Fager messed up. Matthew Stafford. The rest of them, no contest. Because Sam Darnold goes Sam Darnold. Purdy ain't gonna be that good. So I just think it's Josh Allen time. I think they wrote this for him. They finally want to give Buffalo a Super Bowl.
Okay. All right. But now, do you agree with me that if he loses, that the coach is on the hot seat for next season?
Yeah, I agree. Next year will be his last year if he don't do nothing.
Okay. The Vikings. I think they're on the hot seat for the simple fact that they put so much money into the quarterback they have right now. Instead of looking at the quarterback they had, and just think about the quarterbacks they had Kirk Cousins, they had Sam Darnold, and got rid of both of them, right? And now they're not in the playoffs. They're playing. They're using other quarterbacks to play. and he can't really stay healthy. But this is what the coach wanted, right? So again, if this is what the coach is asking for, and you get a coach what he wants, and he doesn't come through, then that's grounds of saying, yo, you can't. I gave you what you want. I gave you. I went out and bought you the groceries that you wanted. You wanted lobster tail, crab legs, shrimp. You wanted snail or escargot. You wanted octopus. You with the ink in it. I gave you everything you wanted, and you still didn't come through, right? That's why I think I got.
I don't believe it's Sam Darnold.
And so, so do anybody agree or disagree with the Vikings?
Okay. Yeah, I agree with the Vikings. Okay.
The Eagles. The only way that Nick stays there, first of all, they got to trade Brown, right? Because I think that relationship is already done. I think the relationship is done. I think it was done before when he started talking about changing the offense, which everybody agreed with him. He's like, yo, they know what we're doing. We're not doing what we did before, but they know what we're doing. So we got to change up what we do. But then when you're wide open and you miss that pass and you're talking all that jibber jabber, now we want you to go. And now they're looking at getting an offensive coordinator again. And this will be Jalen Hurts' fifth offensive coordinator. This will be I'm going to say this. So they're looking at Dable and they're looking at Daniels for the offensive coordinator for Philadelphia this upcoming season, right? But if he gets them and they still fail, he's going to be gone, because look at Doug Peterson. He wasn't there. He won a Super Bowl and they got rid of him like quick, fast, and hurry. Anybody agree, disagree?
I don't see McDaniel going to Philly because him and Vic Fangio didn't get along down there.
Oh, okay.
I know they're not bringing him in up there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't agree.
Go ahead.
I don't agree with Philly. I just think if they get an offensive coordinator that understands. I mean, the offensive coordinator, I know he had nothing to do with him dropping those passes, but like something happened to that offense when that dude took over. So I think AJ Brown will stay, and they're gonna get an offensive coordinator. If it's not, they're just gonna get a nice, young, innovative coordinator.
I think the biggest
comfortable with Jalen Hurts.
I think
that's all they got to do is get Jalen Hurts confident again.
I think the problem with the Eagles was they lost their center. He retired. People don't realize how important centers are, because they're the ones that has to call the line, right? So you got a rookie center in there. So maybe Jalen was calling the formations and the pulls of the line, stuff like that. So he might have been adding some things into that he had to do because of the center that they had. I'm not saying he was or wasn't, but I'm just saying when you lose your center, which I'm gonna say this. I think when you lose a significant player on your team, like the center, the quarterback, and I'm gonna say a defensive tackle that's like an Aaron Donald type of player. When you lose those type of players, and they know when they've done, just come and say, yo, man, I think it's gonna be my last year, so I can go ahead and figure out what I want to do from this point on as far as drafting players, because he blindsided the Eagles by retiring, because they was like, oh man, we gotta find a center. Where Aaron Donald knew at the beginning of the season, he told Sean McVay, he said, yo, this is it for me. So Sean McVay already knew that he was leaving. He just didn't tell nobody else, right? So Sean McVay knew. He said, okay, now I know what we got to do as far as our defense is going to concern. So that kind of helped him out. But I think sometimes when you wait till training camp, say, oh, I'm retiring. What? And we just had the draft, and I ain't draft nobody to replace you. Yo, that's not cool. So I think that had a lot to do with Jalen Hurts as far as what's going on. But I think Brown probably gets traded. I'm gonna say that he goes to Buffalo because they need a number one receiver. What Buffalo gives up for him, I don't know, but I think he would be a good fit in Buffalo. The Packers. I'm put the Packers on this list for the simple fact that they had a conversation about him not coming back this year, right? And why? And Dana, you want to bring up injuries? That's one of the teams that had a lot of injuries this year. You know what I'm saying? But something ain't right with that team. If you're saying, and if you think about it, LaFleur was an offensive coordinator, right? If I'm not mistaken. But you lost players on your defense, but you're up 21-3 or 28-3 in the first half, and you let them score 25 points on your second half. That means something wasn't going right. You know what I'm saying? So that was like a total meltdown for them. So now you got to question the integrity of the coach if he really wants to be there. You know what I'm saying? And then again, he's on the this is the last year of his contract, I think. So he wants to know his future there. Are you going to resign me or you're not going to resign me? If you're not going to resign me, let me go and find somewhere else to go. Which, if again, I honestly believe if Harbaugh and Tomlin would have been fired before Green Bay had lost that playoff game, I think LaFleur would have been gone. I think he would have been gone. I'll be honest with you. I think he would have been gone.
Yeah.
Anybody agree or disagree?
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Buccaneers. I think that I think the window has closed. Buccaneers have to get younger. They had so many guys that was injured. Baker got hurt. But again, that to me, that division is anybody. That's the Saints could win the division next year, right? And you don't want to. The Bucs makes the playoffs, but Atlanta wins and they not in. So if you got to take care of business, so you never put yourself in that situation again, to have to rely on another team to win, to lose a game for you to get in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? So I think that has a lot to do why he could be on the outside looking in as well. Cowboys. Even though this would be a second year, because if Tomlin takes time off, right, and for some reason Harbaugh doesn't get a job and takes time off, I think that might be a place for Harbaugh. The thing about it is in Dallas is you got to deal with Jerry Jones, and do you want to deal with Jerry Jones? This is nonsense, because he made a comment the other day that he don't want to leave until they won some more Super Bowls. Brother, your Super Bowl days are over because you already told the world only thing you do is entertainment. You want to entertain teams. You don't want to win Super Bowls. You're all about making money. You could care less. You got your two.
Well, let me say something in the defense of Jerry Jones.
Go ahead,
Kevin. It is entertainment. Football is entertainment. Don't we sit down to watch football to entertain? Even Mike Tomlin said the same thing. He said that he said the same thing. He used the word entertainment. Entertainment. The fans are entertained by us winning. So it is entertainment. So I don't see anything negative about what he said. Man, I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan by no means, but football is entertainment. And that's the only thing we can call it.
So is football more of entertainment than a sport?
Welcome to your NBA headlines.
They're both. I mean, the saying is two things can be right at the same time. Yes, it's entertainment, but it's also a sport. Football is called a sport, but it's definitely sports entertainment.
Okay, I can agree with that, but I'm saying to you,
from Reuters, the Washington Wizards will wait to reevaluate recently acquired guard Trae Young's.
My Alexa was talking to us now. I don't know why she's talking. I told her to be quiet. Go ahead, Curry. What were you saying?
I was gonna say for him to say that, I don't think he was saying anything that he don't want to win a Super Bowl. That it is entertainment. It's entertainment, and like Mike Tomlin say, we entertain the fans by winning. That's how you entertain them.
So,
and like I say, Mike Tomlin used that same word, entertainment.
So if okay, I get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, if you're not winning a Super Bowl, then what's your purpose? Because Jerry Jones definitely he does. We know Jerry Jones don't care about winning the Super Bowl. He really doesn't. He got 2 rings now. He's happy with that. He got him early in his career as an owner. He doesn't really care if they win another Super Bowl or not because he's all about making. You're gonna make money playing for Dallas. Definitely, you're gonna get rich. You're definitely you're gonna get generational rich with them. But again, do you go out there? And this is the thing, Curry. When we was growing up, free agents would go to Dallas in a heartbeat. They would go to Dallas because that was America's team, and Dallas was always competing for Super Bowls. Dallas and Minnesota were the top 2 teams. Me growing up as a kid, that was competing for Super Bowls every year in the NFC. Then you had the Rams came along a little bit. Then you had San Francisco come along a little bit, but they were it. Eagles and the Giants wasn't even being seen, and the Eagles wasn't even thought of during that time period. So I get it at that point in time. But now you don't see free agents running to Dallas because they want to win. Now, if you want to get rich, you go to Dallas. I can understand you going to Dallas. But if you want to win, do you want to go to Dallas? Because they're not doing what they need to do. And honestly, Jerry Jones needs to step aside and let his son run things because his son he does draft well. You know, I gotta give him credit for that. I don't like Dallas Cowboys either, but I give credit where credit's due. But my thing is this right here with Dallas though is I couldn't when he made that comment this year about the comment that he made about them being entertainment and winning and not winning the Super Bowl and things like that kind of irked me because I'm telling you right now I can't be a fan of a team that's don't want to compete for a title. I just can't do it. That's just me as a fan, you know. But again, I'm gonna say this because of the coaches that are out here right now. If they don't find a job this year, Dallas could be a destination for one other coach. But the thing about it is, do you want to deal with the nonsense that comes along with Jerry Jones if you go to Dallas? Anybody agree or disagree? The last one on the list. I
don't think either one of those coaches will be in Dallas. No,
I'm not saying neither one of them will be in Dallas. But what I'm saying is that I don't
think that's the type of coach that Jerry Jones wants.
No, he does. He wants a puppet. But I'm just saying I think that because of the carousel of coaches that are out there, he may and I'm looking at the list of coaches that I'm looking at the teams we're talking about next year that may fire their coaches. The coach from Buffalo will get a job. The coach from Commanders will get a job. LaFleur will probably get a job. You know, so those guys who could be out there to go to Dallas. The last but not least,
I don't know that if the Commanders started coach, I don't know that he'll get a job because that'll be his second time being fired from a team. So I don't know. He'll get a defensive coordinator job.
I think he could go to Dallas and get a job there at Dallas because I think he should have been the head coach. He should when they got rid of McCarthy, they should have kept him there. Because I guarantee you, if his
defense was terrible, why would you promote a guy?
No.
His defense was absolutely atrocious.
But listen to this though. The defense was bad, but it wasn't that bad while he was there because he had players making plays. And again, when I was getting ready to say, if he's there as a head coach, I don't think Micah gets traded. So you still have, I think you still have Micah there at that point in time, right? Which makes one heck of a difference on your defense. And that's what I'm saying.
Say what I said before. He had Micah on that defense, and that defense was atrocious. That defense was terrible. Jordan Love lit that defense up in the playoffs, man.
Well, he did. He did do that.
With Micah.
He did do that. But now let's listen. Let's think about what the players in Dallas. They're like, yo, we were tired.
No,
they came out and said, yo, we were tired. They was tired. Right? Because you in Dallas, you doing podcasts and you going out and Everything ain't for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying. I think he will probably. That could be a possibility for him to go. The last one I got is the Detroit Lions. I think the window has closed. But I think they have an opportunity.
Yeah,
I think the opportunity of winning the division has gone. I think Chicago is going to be a dominant team in that division next year. Chicago just got to work on the defense because the defense is the weak part of the game. Because you can't play half a quarter and think you're going to win a game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if they think they're going to do that against the Rams this weekend, they're sadly mistaken. They'll have to play all 4 quarters from this point on. Even if they beat the Rams and they play Seattle, they got to still play all 4 quarters. You know what I'm saying? That team's been very inconsistent in the way they play. But I think the window with the Lions has closed. And because he's careless with the 4th downs, I think that becomes a factor because he took over the offense this year because he's like, yo, if I'm going down with a ship, if this is my ship, I'm going down with my ship. And I'm going to be the one calling the plays. Right? So those are the teams I think maybe could have a head coaching change next year because of some of the things this year, but a lot to do with next year. Because again, you're gonna see, like, I can guarantee you that I know that one of the Rams, if they're looking at one of the Rams coaches for assistant coach somewhere or OC, they're probably leaving. They're probably gonna leave, you know. But that takes up a spot or a head coaching job. That takes a spot for the coaches that are out there. But in all honesty, guys, I think Mike Tomlin might take a year off because he just needs to regenerate. He needs to get that itch back. And I'm gonna say this. I remember when I was in the Marine Corps and I played basketball almost once I got out of boot camp. I played basketball every day. I made the base team. I made the All Marine Corps team at Camp Lejeune. I got invited to the All Marine Corps team. I couldn't go because I had this sergeant major that was a you know what I'm saying? During the time we was invading Kuwait, talking about we fighting the war, and I'm like, okay, they fighting the war, but I want to go play basketball, and I got orders to go play basketball. You won't let me go, so he messed up my opportunity to play. But it got to a point. Where one day I was like, yo, I don't want to play basketball no more. My friends was like, come on, man. I like, yo, I'm done. I don't want to do it no more. I don't have the itch no more. I could go in the gym, go sit in the sauna, go in the weight room, and walk right past that basketball court when he paid no mind. But then I say maybe a year and a half later, I got the itch back to go play. So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you may just need that time off to get that itch back. And I don't think that's where Tomlin is. I really do. I think that's where Tomlin is when it comes to him when they come back and play football. I am so disappointed that Curry, that Mo did not come on. Why is it every time they lose, he don't show up? Got me scratching my head. Got me scratching my head why he didn't show up, right? So those are some of the things that that some of the teams, and so Dana, I was like you said, the Eagles looking for OC, and they brought up the name of Daniels and the Ball as the OC maybe for the Eagles. But like Curry said, him and defense coordinator didn't get along, so maybe that might not be the place for him. Maybe the Ball might be.
Yeah, we be hearing all this stuff, but you know who be saying all this stuff? We don't be hearing this from the teams. We be hearing all this noise be coming from these people that just like us, we sitting around speculating and hypothetically saying that that's all those guys doing the same thing, but they can say it and it'll get out there and it'll bounce off the wall and somebody will say, oh yeah, you know, I heard he might be going to San Francisco, but all it takes is sometimes the agents will put stuff out there, you know.
Right.
They try to put stuff out there that's
but you know,
apart for their clients.
But I do my homework, so I'm just saying what I see when I read. Like I said, Lamar Jackson.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying those guys that you know, when you hear on these other outlets, they just throwing stuff out there, and we hear a lot of that stuff, and they hear a lot of that stuff, and next thing you know, somebody else will write it and say it, you know, but we don't hear it from the teams.
Right. So, like I said, Lamar Jackson, they're talking about a contract extension with him. I'm really curious to see who gets that job. I really am.
Yeah.
They said Fred Warner he's not scratched yet for the game against Seattle, but I don't know if he's going to be able to play. I'll be honest with you, because he was warming up against the Eagles and didn't have no uniform on at all. He just was out there warming up. I would love to see him go out and play, because 49ers definitely need the help against Seattle, because Seattle smacked them last time around. And we'll see how that goes. I already talked about the two assistant coaches that Pittsburgh is looking at for the Rams again. I talked about the ball and Mike Daniels for OC for the Eagles again. So I have here. Let's see here. I have here. Let me turn this paper down. Ooh, let me turn my little light around so I can see this, because it's a little light, a little dark in here tonight. So this is what it says: 2026 NFL hiring prediction candidates for opening jobs. But blam. Arizona Cardinals fired John Gannon. Fired him last week. Their coach coming up. Their prediction for the next Cardinals coach is Clint Kubiak, Seattle offensive coordinator. I think he'd be good for Arizona. I mean, he got Kubiak. If nobody knows about his father, he was a good coach as well, and a player. But again, we don't know about Kyler Murray, what Kyler Murray's going to do, so which way they go. Atlanta Falcons fired Raheem Morris. They're predicting that John Harbaugh could be the head coach for the Ravens. He has a stockpile of stuff up there. I know him and Matt Ryan do get along. Baltimore Ravens fired their coach. They're saying Kevin Stefanski could be the next head coach for the Baltimore Ravens. Wouldn't that be a blip? Cleveland Browns fires Kevin Stefanski. The Browns are high on Mike McDaniels, which I'm not high on him at all. I'm not feeling him at all. This is the one that kind of surprised me, because they had a couple of defensive coordinators before and it didn't work out, but they want another one. Las Vegas Raiders, who fired Pete Carroll, who should never got the job in the first place. I don't have nothing against Pete Carroll, but Pete Carroll too old. He convinced them to bring Geno Smith to that team last year. He gave him all that money. He got generational money. And for them to be in the top 5 draft pick, stop. Don't do it. I don't know what the Raiders thinking about. They must have been smoking some weed or something out there. They must have been on the weed. All right. They're looking at Robert Saleh. They're saying Robert Saleh is favored to be the head coach in Las Vegas. That would be a good pickup. The Miami Dolphins prediction is said Chris Shula, Rams defensive coordinator, could be the next head coach for the Miami Dolphins. I ain't happy with that, because Chris Shula been there 1 year. Get that man opportunity to get my defense better than what it is now. It's good, but let it be better. New York Giants. Jeff Hafley, Packers defensive coordinator, could be the next head coach for the New York Giants. Pittsburgh Steelers. They saying Jesse Minter, Charger defensive coordinator, could be the next head coach for them. And they have potentials candidates. They have Chris Shula, Dave Webb. They don't even have a man, what's the name we talked about for Minnesota on that list, which is crazy. Tennessee Titans. Listen to this one, guys. Matt Nagy, Chief Offensive Coordinator for Tennessee Titans. And that's about it, man. Now they got some other names in here. Steve Pagnolia, Vance Joseph, Lou Amaro, Jason Garrett, Robert Saleh, Mike McCarthy, Chris Shula, and Jeff Hafley are all guys maybe for that Tennessee job. So Tennessee's probably have interviewed a whole bunch of dudes to get what they want. So I don't really know. I mean, I'm just saying that's what they have out here. We got like a half an hour left to go, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking at the live feed. I don't see any questions on the live feed. We had some earlier. I'm gonna look again, see if anybody out there with the live feed. No, I don't see anybody with the live feed. I just knew we was gonna have a conversation about this Pittsburgh Steelers stuff, man. So
Yeah.
So since we're on Pittsburgh, right? So Curry, who do you think will be the quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers next year?
I already told you. The guy in Atlanta that restructured his contract.
Who, Kirk Cousins?
Yeah.
Nah, he nah. I don't think he's leaving. I don't think he's leaving. I don't think he's leaving Atlanta.
That's yeah, but I didn't think he was leaving Minnesota either.
Well, the money Atlanta gave him, I would have left too. Dana, who could you see being the next coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers?
They're looking for an offensive guy. Quarterback would be offense. I would say Stefanski.
Okay. No, quarterback.
They want somebody to say quarterback.
Quarterback, not a coach.
Oh,
quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my bad. Okay. So how you think they're gonna get him, through the draft or free agency?
Well, I'm gonna say this: if the owner doesn't want to rebuild, then they're gonna be stuck like they are right now with getting a retread.
Okay, I will go with. I'm gonna go with Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold signed a contract in Seattle. He can't leave there.
Oh, he's still under contract?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, that's a hard one. I don't know, like, free agents right now.
Okay, so let's do this.
I know Tua not going.
Why you don't think Tua going?
He ain't playing in that cold. I'll tell you where I think Tua's gonna end up at.
Where?
Arizona. Mark it down. Carolina.
No, they just gave him. They just got. Okay, go ahead. I'm listening.
They what?
They just honored his 5th-year contract, so he's gonna be making. He's gonna be making.
That don't mean nothing. They just picked up his 5th-year option. That don't mean that they dumped a bunch of money on him. That's just a safe bet. That's a safe bet to hold him there. Because if he has a good year next year, that should be his 4th year. Then they'll go ahead and sign him. John Watson. But if
Deshaun Watson to Pittsburgh,
year, they can go ahead and cut him and pay him the 5th-year option money and release him. But they could go ahead and bring in, because they're gonna let the Red Rifle. They're gonna cut him, and so they're gonna need somebody to take his place. And I think that's gonna be Tua, and they can get Tua for cheap, because probably for the league minimum, because the Dolphins will have to pick up the bulk of that contract. So that would be a good spot for him.
So who you saying? So what quarterback you saying going to Pittsburgh?
Deshaun Watson. I like that.
Okay, Dennis said Deshaun Watson. Curry, who you saying?
But that would make sense. I mean, they usually go with these. Pittsburgh has made some bad choices when it comes to quarterbacks, and they missed on quarterbacks. I mean, they could have got Sam Darnold. All they pushed forward, but then they let him go up to Seattle, and who's the other guy that they could have got? They probably could have got Baker.
Okay.
They decided to go with, I just don't see it. They're going with these old retread quarterbacks. Now, the one guy that probably could have made it work, Justin Fields, if they really wanted to invest in him, but
they ain't want to pay
after
him.
what I've seen him in the Jets, I don't even know that was even a good choice.
I don't think they wanted to pay. I don't think they want to pay Justin Fields because what happened was with Justin Fields, right? And Mo if Mo was on the line, he would say, no. If Justin Fields would have played so many games, he would have got a bonus. He would have got the bonus, and then that's when
I tell you a guy that could conceivably end up at Pittsburgh, and I think he would be a Band-Aid, and he probably would do fairly well. That's Geno Smith. Yes.
Geno Smith. Okay.
Is that his name, Geno Smith? That's what I'm right. Geno Smith?
Yeah, Geno Smith.
His name.
So right now, free agent wise, quarterbacks, you have for 2026, you got Daniel Jones, who we know he's gonna be he might not be ready for the season. Aaron Rodgers will retire. They're not gonna retread Russell Wilson. Marcus Mariota is gonna stay where he's at right now. Zach Wilson, he's gonna stay. Tyrod Taylor, that could be a fit for Pittsburgh, maybe, if they're looking for a gap year. He plays well. Joe Flacco, I don't see him coming back. Kenny Pickett, Jimmy G, Mitchell Trubisky, Case Keenum, Trey Lance, Carson Wentz, Josh Johnson, Brandon Allen, Malik Willis. He's going to play. So he's a free agent, so he's going to go somewhere else. He could go now. I tell you what, he go to Pittsburgh. That'd be nice. Him going to Pittsburgh, you don't have to rebuild. You just can retool. You know what I'm saying? Because now you got a quarterback that can run a little bit too. You got Kyle Allen, Teddy Bridgewater, Brett Rippon, Gard Minshew, Skylar Thompson, Tommy DeVito, Sam Howell, and Jake Browning. There's all the free agent quarterbacks out there right now. So Malik Willis could have his choice to go somewhere else and start. Pittsburgh would not be a bad place, I think, depending on who will become that coach. That to me, I think that probably would be perfect.
Since the Dolphins GM came from Green Bay, it wouldn't be surprising if Malik Willis didn't follow him.
Okay, yeah,
to Miami.
That could be a good choice. So there's not a lot of and from the looks of it,
that's what
the quarterback that plays for Brett Jones. I mean what's the quarterback Jones? Matt Jones. He's not on this list,
Matt Jones.
So that's going to have to be a trade. He's not even on the free agent list. So if somebody wants him, they got to trade for him. So then now you got to give us some draft picks to get him.
But getting a whole lot for him.
But then you look at the thing about like the coach are right there. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how long Daniel Jones is going to be out, but they need somebody to fix that situation. If I'm Russell Wilson,
whatever happened to that quarterback that the 49ers moved up to get that guy? I thought they were moving up to get
Trey Lance. He went to Dallas.
Who?
Trey Lance.
Yeah, but is he still with Dallas?
No, they traded. No, he went to the Chargers.
He's with the Chargers.
He's with the Chargers now. Yeah, that kid didn't get a fair shake either. I'm gonna be honest with you. He didn't get a fair shake.
No.
So you got a couple quarterbacks out there that could be on the move. I think Malik Willis is probably one of them because he's a free agent. The other ones, I don't know if they're going to be the quality that you want to be a starting quarterback in this league right now. We know the quarterback situation is pretty much watered down. Because I know Jimmy G he's probably going to leave, especially if the Rams win the Super Bowl this year. He probably going to retire.
Jimmy G got to be about 60.
He's 34 years old. He's young. Wow, I thought he was older. I thought he was a little bit older than that, but he's 34. Wow, Aaron Rodgers 42, Russell Wilson 37. Man, Russell Wilson been in that long. Eminem 32. Tyron
Wilson came in the same time Tannehill came in.
And Tyron Hill is 36. Flacco's 40. Oh man. Josh Johnson, the backup quarterback for Washington, is 39 years old. Wow. So one thing you can say, you can hold a clipboard for a long time in the NFL. You know what I'm saying? So, but again, the situation with Pittsburgh is like, and I said this at the beginning of the year when we were talking about Pittsburgh, and when they went out and got Eric, when I got Metcalf, and Mo was talking about they're gonna be 12 and whatever, and I was not drinking that Kool-Aid at all. I like them. I like to pick up a Rodgers because they needed somebody stable in that position. But then you went out there and you have the highest paid defense, right? And they didn't show up when they need to show up. You know, Tomlin went out there. Tomlin went to the front office and said, let's go get Russ. Let's go get Aaron Rodgers, right? Aaron Rodgers said, if you get me, I need you to bring in Metcalf. Right? Went and got Metcalf. Then they went out and got the kid, Jalen Ramsey on defense. So they were all in. And when they went out and got Adam Thielen, that told you right there that there was some issue with the wide receiver situation. You know what I'm saying? So that may be something they address on the offseason as well, is getting some wide receivers there, because Metcalf is a little long in the tooth. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who you get there as a quarterback, it depends on how long he may not want to be there, depending on who the quarterback is. So, but Pittsburgh, but Tomlin got what he wanted, and it didn't help anything. But I'm as a still a hater. I was like, I mean, it was a conversation to have, guys, doing the show about him being fired. But I really want him to stay, to be honest with you, because we don't get the same results. 9-8, 10-7, losing the playoffs.
No, they won 10 games for the last couple of years. So.
Well, no, they won. I think they won 10 this year, but they was like 9. They was 9-8 last year. I think they were. I think they was one game above 500 last year. You know what I'm saying? But now I ain't gotta worry. I ain't gotta hear this.
I thought they were 10-7 the last 3 years.
Let me look and see.
I could be wrong though, but I thought they were 10-7 last 3 years.
Let me look at something here. Let me see if I can go back in time. My computer been acting real slow lately, man. I might need to get a different monitor. I'm not monitor, but housing group. Come on, man. What's going on here? Yeah, this thing is really slow right there today. Maybe I need to do an update on this thing. Yeah, it's not giving me what I want. I know how to find the answer. Alexa.
I got you right here, Kev.
Okay.
The Steelers finished 10-7 last 3 years, 23, 24, and 25.
Okay, so they've been 3 games above 500. And I mean, it's good to do that, but if you don't do nothing with it after that point, then again, I'm so tired. I don't want to hear this no more. He you know, and somebody did something on Facebook about him, and it was really nice. You know what though? I didn't know that he started his coaching career at VMI. I didn't know that part of it. Yeah. And then he was at Cincinnati. Yeah. And then he ended up going to Tampa, and that's where he won a Super Bowl with Tampa. So he was in
Tampa with
Gruden.
Not Gruden. Coach before Gruden. Dungy.
Okay, Dungy. So he has 2 Super Bowl rings. He won Super Bowl with Tampa. Then he came to Pittsburgh and won a Super Bowl. I mean, and if you guys really think about it, that was a surprise hire for Pittsburgh. because nobody knew anything about Tomlin. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where the Rudy Rule came into play.
But then you didn't win the Super Bowl in Tampa.
No, but I think, but Kyle, I mean, but Tom was on. He was still on the staff when Gruden won, and that's when I think he left after Gruden, and that's how he ended up getting. He got the job at Pittsburgh. But that was a hire nobody thought they saw it coming, and as a surprise, he's been there for 19 years. I get a man credit for not having a losing season.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's all about winning Super Bowls. If you didn't win Super Bowls, then it's not all for naught. I mean, it's just for the record. It gives him stats to get him in the Hall of Fame as a coach. He definitely should be in the Hall of Fame for a coach, you know, because of what he done. But again, Steelers fans, yeah, we got the, you know, and then they fire Tomlin. I'm like, yeah, okay. You fire Tomlin, who you gonna get? Who you gonna get better than him? You know what I'm saying? That's the thing about it is you fire him, but who's gonna be better than him coming up? I still think my man from Minnesota should be the front runner for that job, the defensive coordinator, because he was already there. The guys know him, you know. So, this weekend, let's see. I got as a quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna leave my question mark there until I find out who the coach is. And once I find out who the coach is, then I'll give you guys an answer who's gonna be the quarterback. So Dana, who you got between Chicago and LA?
I got the Rams.
Curry, who you got?
I got Chicago.
Lou, who you got?
Rams.
And of course, you know I got the Rams.
Right.
Seattle versus 49ers. Curry, who you got?
I'm going with the 49ers. I think they're gonna be ready.
Dana, who you got?
49ers. Sam Darnold on Sam Darnold.
Lou, who you got?
Seahawks.
Okay. I gotta go 49ers. I think the defense.
I got the 49ers.
I think what Kittle's not playing, that's gonna really hurt them. Even though they've been playing without him all season long, somebody's gonna have to step up and be the next Kittles. But I got Seattle. Even though I would love for 49ers to win, that means the Rams get a home game. But I'm going for Seattle.
I got Seattle and Chicago. I mean, I got San Francisco. And,
you just popped in on us, huh?
Chicago. Yeah.
You got Chicago, Rich?
And San Francisco.
Do you got Chicago because if the Rams win, y'all win, y'all gotta come to LA? Is that why you did that? Is that why you did that? Yeah.
LA is Levi South.
Okay, yeah, okay.
We put more people in the stands than y'all do.
That's okay. It's just one of those things. Buffalo and Denver. Rich, who you got?
I got Buffalo.
Okay. Dana.
Only because I don't believe in RJ Harvey.
Okay. Dana, who you got?
Dr. Allen.
Lou, who you got?
Broncos.
Curry, who you got?
My heart says Broncos, but my head says the Bills, because them darn Bills, they seem like they always find a way to win. So I'm pulling for the Broncos, but I think the Bills will win it.
I'm going with the Broncos because, again, who's he throwing the ball to? He can't throw the ball to Cook all the time out the backfield. They missing wide receivers.
No, you can't.
See, so I'm going with Denver.
But forget about those two tight ends.
He can't throw them all the time. Next up, we have Houston. I think this is going to be a good game. Houston versus New England. Lou, who you got?
I gotta go with the Patriots.
Rich, who you got?
I'm taking the Patriots. At least not long.
Dana, who you got?
I'm going with the Texans.
Okay. Kerry, who you got?
Texans, #1 defense. Drake May has not seen a defense like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots have not beat a team. There are not very many teams with a winning record, so they've been the beneficiaries of a weak schedule, which they took advantage of. Give them credit, but this is playoff time now, and the Texans have been in the playoffs every year since their quarterback got there.
Okay. And I'm gonna go with Houston too. I think Houston can play in that cold weather up there. That's what we got.
Yeah, right there. Pittsburgh.
That's what we got right there. That's what we got. Let's see what song I got. We got like 7 minutes left. Real quick, guys. I think that's about it, man. I ain't got Mo on here to talk basketball with, but I do have Rich. Rich.
I got a basketball question for you.
Yes, sir.
Where's John Morant going to end up?
He wants to he wants to go to Miami. If I'm Miami, I'm not bringing him there. He's a hothead. I'm sending him. He's going to Sacramento.
Man, I tell you, man, I'm thinking the same thing.
He's going to
get him down on South Beach.
Yo, he got into an argument with one of his players the other day, and somebody videotaped it. He got mad about it, and they didn't show the part where they said they went to swinging at each other, right? And so John Morant's already out with a sore ankle, but I really don't think he got a sore ankle. I think they'd saving him to trade him, right? But again, he put himself in a situation, right, to be traded, who could have been the face of the NBA, right? And he going in the next 2 or 3 years, we may not hear from John Morant again, to be honest with you. And he's talented. He has so much talent, man. And Dana, check this out. When you think about where he went to college at, right? And they said he should have went to a different college. I mean, he should have went to a one of the top colleges for basketball. But they said, I was reading an article the other day, that his attitude was terrible. So that's how he ended up going to I think Murray State, right? Was it Murray State? I think he went to, if I'm not mistaken. But they said his attitude was an issue, right? But now his attitude's becoming another issue now, and he's making it. I mean, come on, man. You grew up in a church, you went to a private school, you had a mom and dad, you know what I'm saying? Now you want to become you want to become a gay. And you think about it, his dad's not even around. His dad don't say nothing. The mom's the one running him out. Come out to the store and beat this dude up because he don't want to give me sneakers I want to get. He come out there and want to fight the dude. I want a pair of sneakers for his mom. Yeah. Come on, man. That doesn't make sense to me. You could have been a face you could have been a face of the NBA, right? But now he's not, right? Now it's gonna end up being Wemby or the Joker or Luka. Don't play no defense. I got a question for you too.
They'll never be a foreigner.
Oh yes, it is. It's about to happen right now. I'm telling, and the only reason I'm saying it's going to happen right now is because Jason Tatum's not playing. If Jason Tatum's playing right now, he could probably be the face of the NBA. He could probably be the face of the NBA.
They not putting a foreigner.
Okay.
The face of American basketball.
Okay.
They're not doing it.
Okay. You see who played on Christmas Day, right? You see who played on Christmas Day.
It don't make a difference.
But what they're doing is they're forcing it down your throat, because I'm gonna say this right now. This should never be a Christmas day without the Lakers playing the Celtics. Them two should play like Dallas and Detroit plays on Thanksgiving. Lakers and Boston should be on every Christmas day. No doubt. I don't care how bad the record is. But getting back to John Morant though, Curry, I think Sacramento will probably be a better place for him because I think that gives him I think that knocks him down a peg because he goes to South Beach, he's gonna stay in so much trouble down there. He go And the thing about Pat Riley is not gonna put up with that nonsense. I'm telling you right now. And that probably be the only way they'll get a high profile player is they got to trade from because if you think about right now, no high profile player is going to Miami no more because of Pat Riley, because of what LeBron probably said about Pat Riley before he left. Same thing about D Wade, what he said about Pat Riley before he left. You know what I'm saying? Because he's an older guy, to certain things he's not going to tolerate from any player, no matter who they are. The only player that probably got away with a whole lot with him probably was Magic Johnson, right? He's the only player that probably got away with a whole lot with Pat Riley. I don't care when he went to Knicks, nobody got away with anything. When he was down to Miami, nobody got away with anything. And now he's a GM down there in Miami. LeBron couldn't get away with anything. He just went to LeBron and said, "Yo, I got more money than anybody else. Come down to Miami, play for us. Come to South Beach." At the last minute, and that's where he went. Right. So John Morant going to Miami, that's not a good fit for him at all. Sacramento got to be if anywhere, Sacramento might be the place for him to go. And he just can't go to a major city because he needs to be humbled, man. He needs to be humbled a whole lot. I love John Morant. I love his game, but man, when you go doing crazy stuff like that, it doesn't make sense. You tarnish. First of all, you disrespect your parents by doing what you're doing because they think that you ain't got no home training, right? Again, like I said, he grew up in the church. They said he was in church every day of the week, twice on Saturdays and Sundays. So he grew up in church with grandma. You know what I'm saying? He had a mom and dad. He went to a Catholic school, a private school, right? And now you want to be a tough guy in the league because you got money. Just because you got money don't make you a tough guy. That makes you a dumb guy. Because look at all the money he lost doing the things he's doing, right? And now that he's on a team, and I'm reading that the teammates don't even want him around no more. They're like, "Yo, can he just not come to the games?" You know what I'm saying? He got a couple guys on the team that like him, but the majority of guys don't like him, and that's sad. That's really sad because this guy got so much talent, and he definitely could have been the face of the team, face of the NBA. Dan, a question for you: why did LeBron put honoring LeBron patch on his jersey for 23 years? What was up with that, man? Why?
I don't know. I'm ready for him to leave.
Oh my God!
He can have his game traded for now.
When I saw that, I said, "Yo, you come on, man." They clowned him so bad on social media.
Tired of him, man.
Yo, they said JJ Redick don't like the Lakers. Yo, they said if he could be an analyst like right now, he would dog the Lakers so bad, right? But the thing about it is that LeBron sold you a bill of goods, brother. That's what he basically did. Come on out, man. We're gonna coach. You're gonna coach the team, and we're gonna do this. We're gonna do that. And again, I mean, when it's all said and done with guys, I guarantee you this: when he retires, when Anthony Davis retires, you're gonna hear some stories about them guys, man. You're not gonna believe. LeBron knew that boy was getting traded. I don't care what nobody say. He may not wanted Davis to get traded, but he knew he was gonna get traded. And then then Anthony Davis, who's hurt, everybody wants him to come to the East Coast. I'm like I think the Bulls has the Bulls shot away from him, Rich. Rich, you out there? Rich. Okay, he's out.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, okay. I hear you now. Has the Bulls shied away from Anthony Davis now?
Yeah, they looking at Michael Porter Jr.
And I think everybody's looking at Michael Porter Jr. right now. I saw a report that Golden State looking at him as well. The Pistons are looking at him right now. Because he has that DNA. He's been to the NBA Finals, so he's that dude that can probably get them over the top. But Anthony Davis again, street clothes, getting hurt. But I can't. You can't get like I watched the game last night with San Antonio and OKC, right? San Antonio, I mean OKC was running him out the gym. Every time Wemby fell, he was aching. He's pulling at his knee pads, whatever. I was like, yo, this dude, because you think about it, man, that tall ain't supposed to be. You're not supposed to be playing basketball for real. And you can't really put a lot of meat on him because that slows him down. So the Wemby that you have is a Wemby you're going to get, and he's going to stay injured because of how tall it is, because he's kind of brittle. You know what I'm saying? But then you have Embiid, who is almost 500 pounds, playing basketball up and down the court. And if he were to lose some weight, he would probably be dominant. He could be one of the best centers to ever play the game of basketball, right? But again, we're looking at guys that are 7 feet tall. You know what I'm saying? And
it's time for bed.
It's only going to get they're not going to gain weight that they need to gain, because that's just not them. I've never seen a guy that tall. I think Sam Bowie, I'm not Sam Bowie. I think Ralph Sampson probably was, or maybe Olin Polynice might have been guys that were 7 foot that weighed, that was heavy, that had some body weight to them. And Ralph Sampson didn't get the body weight until later on down the line, where he's hung around with Keem Olajuwon, and Keem Olajuwon it put him on like a diet to gain some weight, for them to get to the finals. But
Shaq was 300.
Huh?
Shaq was 300 pounds.
Yeah, but Shaq's not 7 feet tall. Shaq's was 6'11", maybe.
Yeah, he is.
Shaq's 7 feet
No,
tall.
Shaq is 7'1".
Are you sure?
You had,
because I remember,
because you had dudes like Kevin Duckworth.
But he made
Greg Ostertag.
He made a comment one day. He said if I would have been 7 feet tall, he said I would have been way more dominant than I was. Let me see.
Was he talking about in college?
No, he's talking about when he's in the pros. Because he was talking.
Shaq is 7 foot 7'1".
They say okay, he's 7. He's 7. He said 7'1". Maybe okay, so maybe he was saying that if we was like Wemby's height, because he says he's 7'1". But again, I forgot about him. But look at the weight that he put on him. I mean, look, he was never thin. But then he was in Louisiana down there eating crawfish. He's a rich man. He's a rich man. What's the guy play for the Pelicans? They can't stay on the floor. What you say?
Zion.
Yeah, he's a rich man.
Rudolph.
Yeah, he's Zion. He's a rich Zion, because he could figure out how to carry that weight and do what he do. You know what I'm saying? So we'll see, man. We'll see how this NBA season turn out. I wanted to talk about Boston real quick, if I could. So I watched them play Denver Nuggets. I watched them play San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio Spurs, they played their game and had 4 free throws. I'm like, I've never seen an NBA game where you only shoot 4 free throws. And now we know that Boston is a high percentage team that shoots a lot of threes, but there were times where there should have been and ones and it wasn't called. And what I'm noticing now is it's all against good teams. They won't call that against like scrub teams, right? They won't do that. But against good teams, they won't. They make the calls. And I'm sitting there saying to myself, like, I'm watching the game and I'm like, yo, why would they make that call, right? And the thing about it is, if you remember, they said Boston was going to win 30 to 32 games, and they're already at 25 games right now, and it's before All-Star break. So they're overachieving with the NBA or with the analysts or whatever computer was projected them to win, right? Because you lose Drew Holiday, Al Horford, um, Lou Cornett, and Porzingis, four guys that ate up a lot of minutes. You lose them, and you come back and you play in the way you play, and nobody's ever seen. No, I've never seen this before ever in a team that lose that many players that are that good on the team. You lose them, and then you come back and you still have a winning record. So again, I think the NBA they need to stop this mess because it's getting ridiculous. But then watching the game last night, how they I mean, they was manhandling Wemby. Like the one dude, like this elbowed him in his back and he fell, right? I'm like, yo, they trying to hurt the guy, right? But now they was talking about how physical the NBA was. Curry was talking about how physical it was and how many back-to-back games they were playing at the beginning of the year because they know they get that week off for the All-Star break, and then the All-Star break is All-Star game is the I think it's Valentine's Day weekend, right? And after that they have what less than 20 games, about 20 games left after that, which they're gonna spread those games out. But again, this is what the NBA asked for, and now you're gonna still complain about it. You can't have it both ways, man. But yeah. But anyway, yo guys, February 1st, I will be in Boston for Pioneers Day. That is the day they represent. They would they would salute um Mr. Cooper, Chuck Cooper, the first Black African American to be drafted in NBA, number 11. Um, and me and his son, and Dana, we had his son on the show a while ago. I don't know if you remember. Um, I hit him up. I hit him up. I said, yo, I got my ticket. I got my plane flight. I was gonna drive up, right, waiting on my brother. My brother was kept fooling around. I was like, yo, I'm gonna get my ticket. I'm done. I can't wait for you, because it's not. To me, it's not just a game for me. It has some sentimental value because it's all about Black history, you know. And for Chuck Cooper to be the first Black player to be drafted in NBA and things of that nature, that means a lot to me because I love Black history. You guys know how much I love Black history. You know, being born in February too, that it all falls intact with me. So I'm gonna go up there and celebrate that with his son. February 1st, we play Milwaukee. Um, so make sure you watch the game. So I'm gonna try to wave at the camera so y'all can see me. So man, hopefully God willing, I get a chance to go up there because the last time I was supposed to go to Boston, my best friend passed away the day before the parade when they won the title, and I didn't go up there at all last year. So hopefully I get an opportunity to go up there this year and watch them play. I try to go at least once a year. I haven't seen them play they play in Philly. They played in Philly, so they already played all the games in Philly this year. So I can't go see them play in Philly because they already played. I'm not going to see them play Brooklyn because that's not good. That's not going to be a good game. I'm not going to go see them play Washington because that's not a good game. You know, so
True.
So hopefully I get it'll be a good game. Hopefully Giannis plays that game. That should be a good game. February 1st game. So yeah, check me out. I'm gonna be on live, so y'all see me. So y'all see what I'm wearing. I'm sitting. I'll be where the Celtics bench is. I'm looking to the right of them, but I'm on the baseline, like I'm like in the 17th, like 17th row, I think. I think it's row what I put. I think it's 17th row or something like that. I'll be sitting there, but I'm looking forward to it. Hanging out with Chuck. Man, we last time we was together, we talked a lot about basketball, about Nate Sweetwater, and Sweetwater Clifton, who played for the played for the Globetrotters, that played for the Knicks. Actually was the first Black to play, and then you had the other guy, I can't Lloyd. He played, I think, with I want to say Golden State. I think I'm not for sure, but those three they got drafted all the same year. But they're gonna have a ceremony for Chuck though. It's gonna be really nice, man. I mean, like I told you guys before, like when it comes to winning and losing, I really don't. I care about my teams winning, but I like them because of Black history. So, so the Browns, they can keep sucking. I'm gonna still like them because of what they did. they gave opportunities for black players to play in the NFL. Dodgers gave black players opportunity. The Celtics gave black players opportunity. The Rams gave black players the opportunity. First black quarterback to play for the Rams was he played for the Cleveland Rams at that time, but they still the Rams. And then James Harris was the first black quarterback to win a playoff game in the NFL who played for the Rams. So it all came together for me, even though I didn't know these teams. I knew about, like, I was more of a Celtic fan because of my dad and the history of the Celtics. But then when I started reading about the teams I like and what they did for athletes for Black history, it just made me more. It made me more. Um, um, what I'm looking for, come to them more so than anything else. Cause like for example, being a Browns fan, Paul Warfield was my favorite player. I remember they traded him to the Miami Dolphins. I got mad. I started liking the Dolphins because he was down there, you know. But I stayed with the Browns and I stayed with the Rams. But at the time I was liking players, not teams. But now I'm all about teams. I'm not about players because players come and go. But anyway, guys, we should be good for next Monday. So next Monday is Martin Luther King's holiday. Do you guys want to do a show Monday? Because it's a holiday. If you guys good, we can do a show on Monday. We can do it from 7 to 9 again on Monday.
Martin Luther King Day. I'm good with the day that you will be here.
Okay. Oh, and also make sure you guys make sure you guys bring in some Black history. It don't have to be about sports. It can be about any person with Black history at all. That's what we do on the month. That's what we do in February. We talk about Black history, sports, politics, whatever Black history, whatever black person or African American you want to talk about that did something nobody else did, like the ironing board, like the refrigerator and curling iron, all those good things. Yeah, just find something we could talk about as well on the show. But anyway, man, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me again on tonight, on Wednesday night. We had a lot of fun. Rich, reach out to your boy Mo and see if he's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah,
you think he's okay now? You think he's okay?
Yeah, he should be all right. I mean, I thought we were going to be the first team.
Yeah, I thought they'd never lose on Monday night.
Yeah, they'll never lose. You see, that was a setup. That was the okie doke for the okie doke. They haven't won a game in 10 years. Yeah. They haven't won a playoff game in 10 years, and they played on Monday night where they have never lost. So a streak was broken. A streak was broken. All right, guys, man, I appreciate you. Everybody on the live feed. Vinny, I hope I answered all your questions on live feed, guys. If you have opportunity, if you want to call in the show, you can do that as well. The phone number is 512-543-4662. We're here every Monday night after football season from 7 to 9. Unless I have a basketball game I'm coaching, I'll do it another night. But again, thank you guys for listening to me. You guys be blessed, be safe, and enjoy the playoffs.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by Kay Dix from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big time players make big time plays and big time games. Stay ready to be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.